That's just sports, baby.
Crowd goes wild, strawberry ice bringing fire and style. Reds, Bengals, Bearcats, all in my zone. This is my stage, my mic, my throne. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's line is kicking down the door. Step into the ring where the passion ignites, talking sports all day and all night. From the field to the court to the roaring stands, strawberry ice with the world in my hands. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's line is kicking down the door.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Iceman Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio. And as always, I'll come to you live from the Ice Cave.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Party Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paper patio, you need anything, I mean anything. Landscaping requires, think Party Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and More. I got it in my house. I highly recommend you give them yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and More. The website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. And tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House.
And one more thing I want to mention about Moorline Lager House. I don't have the graphic up here yet. I got to put that up. But we will be doing our watch party. So what that means, every road game for the Bengals, I will be at Moorline Lager House. And there's no cost. Just come on down, hang out. I'll be DJing, having some gifts, some trivia, prizes, trivia, playing some music in between the commercials. So come on down. We're having have a great time down there at Moorline Lager House. I'll be down there starting at 12 o'clock, right before 1 hour before the game starts. So come on down for that. And don't forget, next Tuesday, Dine for 9 for the Joe Burrow Foundation. I'll be live at Moorline Lager House from 5:30 to 7:30. I'll have, of course, Joe Farfsing. He'll be there, my co-host. And then we have the Bengals all-time leading scorer. Jim Breach will be there, along with, it was going to be 2 members of the Final Four team, but Corey Blunt had to cancel because he's going to go to support Eric Hicks and his Hall of Fame induction in North Carolina. So, be Terry Nelson, me, Jim Breach, Joe Farfsing for 2 hours at the Moorline Lager House, Dine for 9. What that means is 9% of the food purchased there and drink, 9% of it goes to the Joe Burrow Foundation. So make sure you get your reservations quickly. It's going to fill up fast. What is up to everybody in the chat? We got Stranger, Brad in there, Paulson, Lindsay, Fro, Tony Blazin, and Kevin. What is going on, everybody? It is week 1, people. We've got football, real football. Now we have college, which I like college, but you know me. I'm all NFL. I love my Bengals. I love my Bearcats too. They're going to be taking on Bowling Green this weekend, so we discussed that too. But just a quick question for everybody in the chat. What is your prediction for this? I'll just go with week 1. We're going to take this one game at a time. My prediction is the Bengals win. I do think it's going to be, I got a feeling it's going to be a shootout. For some strange reason, I think it might be a shootout. Joe Flacco might turn back the clock and throw on us. I hope not, because I'm hoping the defense plays better. But from what I've seen in the preseason, it's kind of hard to sit there and say that the defense is going to be better. But I think they might be because of what I saw in, practice and training camp. But we'll see what happens. Give me your thoughts in the comments. But right now, let's get to my co-host each and every Tuesday. He is a legendary Bearcat fan. He's a legendary realist, which that's why me and him kind of get in arguments sometimes. But he is the man, Joe Farfsing. What's up, Joe?
What's up, dude? Is there football this week?
Yeah, it's football this week, baby. I am so
We're
ready.
talking association football. We're talking footy, right?
But no. We're talking
having a match on the pitch, and
we're talking a National Football League, my friend.
that was a weak impression of John Facenda. Come on now, you can do better than that. Natty Round, what is up, dude?
I'll try it one more time. The National Football League.
The frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
That still sucks, but we'll see. All right, so we got some predictions here. Natty Ron says 27-17 Bengals. What's your thoughts? I mean, like I said, I think the offense. I'll give you. I'll talk and then I'll let you talk. I think the offense is going to be great. I do. I think they're going to hit the ground running. I think the offensive line is going to be good. Dalton Reiser is not going to start, but he's going to be on the roster. So in case he's needed, he's there. Yeah. I think he's going to start week 2, but we'll see what happens. We're talking week 1 here. My concern is obviously the defense. Now, from what I've seen in practice, the defense looks way better than it has in the 3 preseason games. I'm hoping it's more of what I saw in practice than we saw in the games, but that is concerning. What's your thoughts, concerns, anything about week 1?
The defense could not be any luckier to be able to have this team to kind of break in. A lot of new moving parts. The Browns offense is just terrible. I've got the depth chart up, and there's not one thing that they're going to be able to do well. You've got Joe Flacco, who might be the most statue-like quarterback ever seen in the history of the NFL. I mean, all you have to do, like, you don't have to worry about him escaping the pocket. You just have to collapse the pocket, and you're golden there.
But can
they? Right. But that's, Jerome Ford. Love Jerome Ford. He played some mighty fine football for the Bearcats.
Yep.
He's not a starting NFL running back. I don't know what, I guess they drafted Judkins to be the starter, and then all of his legal crap pushed him back. But Jerome Ford he's boomer bust. He's going to run, break one for 60, and then he's going to be 2 yards, 3 yards. The receivers are okay. I mean, Jerry Jeudy would probably be the 4th option here in the Bengals offense after Jamar T and Gesicki. I do love me some David Njoku. Like that's an absolute beast, but
what else I got?
Okay. Like your tight end. Right, when your tight end is the only threat. It's one thing if you're, like the Raiders and Brock Bowers is your best threat, but when your tight end is really your only threat, right? That's telling. Their offensive line is not the guys that were there a few years ago. They're mediocre at best. Ethan Pochik is questionable. I think he probably will play, but again, I mean, I don't expect the Bengals defense to shut them down. I expect them to have some ugly plays in there. But it's a soft landing. I don't know if I'll hold off on giving a score, prediction until we cover everything.
Yeah,
what's that?
So wait till toward the end here.
Yeah.
Natty Ron said here, I'll get this up here. He said, I watched the Cleveland Sports Show today. They were talking all about the Browns can score on the Bengals defense. They will score over 21 points. Laugh my ass off. I don't see. Look, I don't see them scoring that much. They don't have. Like you said, they don't have an offense.
And this isn't saying the Bengals defense is going to play lights out football. This is you need like a bad defense. Like looks great if you don't have anyone to actually anyone on the other side to put pressure on you.
I mean, I think their offense is worse than our defense. I actually think our defense is going to be improved and going to be better. I just don't know what it's going to look like week 1. I think it's definitely going to look better for week 1 than it will look, or it'll look better week 7 than it will look week 1. I think they're going to get better, but I'm just not sure what week 1's going to look like. I like the only thing I had that's what drives me nuts is I got 2 opposite things where I've seen them in practice. They look really good, but against other teams, they look awful. And so, and if I said this before, if they weren't missing tackles, they weren't going in the wrong gaps, I will be like, all right, well, it's vanilla defense, which I get that, but still, you got to tackle, and you at least got to be going in the right gaps and doing your job. So that's my concern. But I don't think despite of them having Myles Garrett, I don't think they're going to stop the Bengals offense. I mean, we got too many weapons for them to shut down.
Maybe. I mean, we'll flip it over to the other side. So, Bengals offense just always starts out terribly. So I'm not expecting them to look, to look like they're in their peak form. Obviously, we're going to see what their 2025 offense looks like, because every year there's new wrinkles. Whether it was, holy crap, I'm totally spacing on the old offensive coordinator. Callahan. Jesus.
Yeah, Callahan.
Whether it was Callahan, there was a wrinkle every new year. And this is year 2 with Dan Pitcher. I'm thinking they're probably going to do a lot more under center stuff, because they started working that in. They're doing more heavy formations with 12 personnel. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do. What they're going to do there. I don't expect the offense to look sharp, because they never look sharp. But there's no reason. There's no reason for them not to look sharp when you have the best pass blocking line that Joe has ever had. When you have literally like a dozen weapons that you can throw to. We have, we're talking about how great our wide receiver 5 is,
right,
in Tinsley, or wide receiver 6, wherever he falls, which makes him the 8th best option, because Gesicki, 9th for that matter. Gesicki, Noah Fant, and Chase Brown are going to be getting touches. Plus, Taj Brooks is going to have a say, as the season goes on too.
Can I ask you a question though? Do you think you don't? How much do you think of Joe being healthy and not having any distractions or anything this year, and playing in the preseason? Do you think that's going to? Because that's where I'm at. He's healthy. They've played. There is no excuses for them not to start off good.
Well, for sure, yeah. It takes away excuses. It's just show me. To go back to a Marvinism, I see better than I hear.
Yeah,
and again, I wholly expect them to win. I do. I think that they should, that this should be a 2 or 3 score game. I think it'll probably be. I think it'll probably be like a touchdown. Probably win by 7 or something like that. But until they come out of the gates firing, from first drive, through the entire game, I'm not going to expect that the offense is going to come out kicking. Now we're talking over the course of 17 weeks. This offense is going to be fucking amazing. I mean, let's be clear here.
Mm-hmm.
But
as long as they're healthy, we'll put that. We all put that out.
I mean, yeah, that's the caveat for all 32 teams.
Yeah. But yeah, that's I don't disagree with anything you're saying. So I agree with you. Show me. You got to see it. I'm curious. Well, not curious. This is the first time Burrow is healthy, and he's made it. People, we're in week 1 here. He's had a normal offseason, so. That he said this is the best he's felt since his rookie year, so that gives me even more hope. Now there's some you guys are blowing the chat, which I love, and I want to get this one of the first ones up here. There you go, Andrew. This is a different topic, but it's kind of good. What's the biggest intriguing matchup this week in the NFL? Do you have one?
I really don't know. I mean, Thursday night is Cowboys and Eagles. Right. Nobody gives a shit. No. You have the Chiefs and the Chargers in Sao Paulo in Brazil. I mean, it'll be fun to see the Chiefs get smacked around in a different country.
Awesome.
I mean, the Chargers are going to be a solid team. I don't think I think they might be the 3rd best team in the division, but I think they're decent. What do we got? The big Bengals and Browns, the other 1:00 games are the Jets and Steelers. What is that? The Russell Wilson Bowl?
I think so, yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Buccaneers and Falcons. Oh, okay, Buccaneers are solid. Falcons are okay. You got Dolphins, Colts, Raiders, Patriots, Cardinals, Saints. That's going to be a terrible game. Saints might go 0-17. They're a terrible team.
They're awful.
Cardinals aren't they're the anywhere between 7-10, 10-7 every single year anymore. Giants, Commanders, Patriots, Jags, Broncos, Titans, Niners, Seahawks at 4:00 might be a decent game. Packers and Lions at 4:25 might be the best. I think that's probably going to be your best.
And let's be honest, the first couple of weeks, since they don't really hit in training camp, and football, it's pretty sloppy compared to what it used to be. All right, Dustin, let's get
Ravens and Bills on Sunday night.
That one to be good.
Has a chance, but I don't care. I don't like either team, so I'm not going to watch. But
Well,
I really
I'll
think
watch.
I like watching the Lions, and I'm curious to see what the Packers do, especially with Micah
Yeah.
Parsons in there. So that'll be the game that I'm going to watch for the 4 o'clock game.
Well, I'll watch the Ravens because I want to watch them lose. Hopefully they will.
Yeah.
Dustin, I feel like the matchup of the game is a Browns tight end David Njoku and Howard Finnegan. They will try to isolate them on our linebackers and safeties. I mean, yeah, because that's literally their best player on offense. So that is going to be the matchup of the game to watch. And I'm going to be curious: is Logan Wilson as slow as we think he is? How does Knight come in? How much does Carter get to play? You know, those are things that are going to be interesting in the linebacker room, is to see that. So that would be the intriguing matchup for us, I think.
Yeah, I'm Harold Fannin is a day 2 pick and is basically a really large wide receiver. He's not a full tight end. He just runs routes. He's like Mike Gesicki. So they have at least an analog of of having somebody to cover that guy, or having that guy. You know what I mean? Like they know how, they have someone to game plan against on a day-to-day basis. So, and again, he's also, I think they're going to try to run the ball a lot. So he probably won't even be in there unless it's obvious passing downs.
Well, they're definitely going to run the ball out because that's, I mean, if you saw our defense, I would too. And that's kind of what Michael here is saying. He said, I think the big equalizer in the upcoming game is if Cleveland can run the ball effectively, that will keep our offense off the field, chew the clock, and put more pressure on Flacco to make plays. Or not put pressure on Flacco to make plays. That's the thing is, can we stop the run? Will TJ Slayton be the impact? I mean, look, the stats were last year, they were top 5 run defense when Slayton was on the field for the Packers. That's how big of an impact he made. But if other guys are going in the wrong gaps, like we saw, it's going to be kind of hard to do that. And I want to see Chris Jenkins. I want to see Michaeli Jackson. I want to see if they take that jump from week 1, year 1 to year 2, because they're going to have to, because Slayton's going to get double teams, just like Chris said. Yeah. Slayton will eat double teams, and that's where these guys got to take care of their blocks if he's taking double teams on. So it's gonna be interesting. Like I said,
if he's eating double teams, if he's doing DJ Reader shit, that would be great, because again, that's leaving your linebackers to be able to to finish up plays,
and also Shamar Stewart, because I'm thinking he's gonna be. I think he's gonna get a lot of playing time week 1. That's just a feeling I have, and I can see, as long as if Osai is I guess going to projected to be a quote starter on the other side there. If him and Miles Murphy can actually get pressure on there, I think they're going to leave Stewart on the inside a lot at that 3-tech spot, and I'm very curious to see how he does. That could be.
I kind of think it's going to be the other way, that on passing downs, Stewart and Henderson are going to be out wide, and Joe Osai and Miles Murphy, because they've actually done it. They've rushed inside over the past couple of years. Then you can't put Stewart in the middle on running down, so he'll get absolutely steamrolled. But he's I honestly don't. I guess just because he's a rookie and missed the early parts, the OTAs and rookie camps and stuff like that. But I really think he's probably the best option for your left end, because he's projected to be a solid run stopper as well. Whereas Osai has never really shown a whole lot as run stopper.
No, they haven't, and that's where Michaeli Jackson and Chris Jenkins come in. They've got to be and BJ Hill. They got to be the run stuffers there. But I do think Slayton, it might not be in running downs, obviously, but passing downs on the interior, Shamar's going to be in there. I think he's going to be like, I mentioned that to other people too about putting Miles Murphy in there, and everybody else thought I was an idiot. So I'm like, thanks, Joe. You put me out there. Yeah, people don't like that idea.
To put him where?
On the inside.
I mean, he's been he's lined up there, so it's nothing new.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, it's all gonna be about the defense. It's the matchups and who. The biggest thing is just, for me, line up right, make tackles, and be where you're supposed to be is the biggest thing for me. If they do that, I think we're gonna win the game. Tackle the guys in front of you. Don't let any big plays, and get off a third down. And it's as simple as that. If that happens, we're going to win this game.
Johnson. Yeah, especially if you're talking about full like talent over, one team over the other, and it's not even close. I see, to me, and I don't know, like, I think more the outside receivers, because that's where the Bengals made a concerted effort to bulk up against the run, right? That's why they got the 2 linebackers. They got Slayton. They drafted an edge in the first round that's going to be a plus run defender. It's his pass, it's the passing or the pass rush ability that's going to prove. I honestly think they're going to try to test the outside receivers or the outside cornerbacks. Like, is CTB going to have a solid, regular, actual consistent year? Juan Drago, how's Juan Drago going to do? It's what about Dax in the slot? Like, what's that going to look like? So I think that's more important. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, like, so all of it's important. I mean, to be honest, it's like there's so many. I hate this because this goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of the Red season. There's a lot of hope, and there's a lot of hope with this defense. But I always go back to, well, there's a lot of also first and second round picks here. These guys are talented. They should step up and make plays. That's what Al Golden was brought to. And I'll go back to somebody on the NFL Network brought it up, or NFL, yes, I don't remember, one of the shows I watched, that in 2022, when the Chiefs went and won the Super Bowl, they put all their defenses, all young guys. So, and that's it had a lot of draft capital there. That's what the Bengals are doing, which the Bengals have done this last couple of years. It's nothing new. They've put a lot of draft capital in that defensive side of the ball.
It's a matter of paying off.
Right. That's where it's got. It's the thing is, Joe, it's not can it happen? It's got to happen for the Bengals to have a good season this year. If it doesn't, it could be a lot like last year, and that's going to be a problem. But I can't believe that it wouldn't be. I mean, the thing is that I'm still surprised about, you be talking about this off air, is that it haven't signed a safety. I thought they might pick one up here and, add to that safety room. But they haven't. Are you surprised about that?
Yeah, Justin Simmons is out there, and Jabril Peppers is out there. Throw another body out there. Just, stash him on the practice squad, get him up to speed. I need to have another body. PJ Jules is a great story. PJ Jules should not be on your with the second team defense.
No. I hope. Well, I'm hoping he works out great. Like you said, it's a great story. But you got Jabril Peppers sitting out there, and he's got guaranteed money from the Patriots. So
the actual investment isn't,
right. It should cost the Bengals barely anything to sign him. So that's what I'm like, why haven't they went and got him? So that's, to me, that's the only spot that they really haven't addressed, and it's a big spot, and we got, how much has Geno Stone, how much is he going to step up compared to what he did last year? Are they going to let him play center field? Because that's what he did best when he was in Baltimore. He just kind of played center field. He didn't really have to cover.
Yeah, but it depends on the guys in front of him too. That's and that's part of the issue. So, but yeah, I'm looking at the 2 and 3 for the Bengals. Defensive end: Shamar Stewart, first rounder; McKinley Jackson, interior, third rounder; Chris Jenkins, second rounder; Miles Murphy, first rounder; Logan Wilson was, I think, a third rounder; Barrett Carter was a fourth rounder; Demetrius Knight, second rounder; Dax Hill, first rounder; Cam Taylor-Britt, second rounder; DJ Turner, second rounder; Jordan Battle, third rounder; Josh, I can't remember where Fig was drafted.
Fig was like a fifth, I think.
He was somewhere in the mid rounds. Yeah. That's a lot of capital, and none of them have really made their stamp. Like Cam Taylor-Britt, like CTB's shown flashes, but not one of them is one legitimate starter. And I don't even need you guys to be a cornerstone. I need someone to just not be a weakness.
Right.
Someone who's just someone you can plug in and that spot's going to be handled competently. I don't need an all-pro.
I mean, the only consistent guy, obviously, BJ Hill's consistent. There's two consistent guys, BJ Hill and Trey. Trey's been very consistent.
And that's a trade and a free agent.
Yeah, and we've seen some great spots from Osai, but it hasn't been consistent. We've never seen it from Murphy. Hopefully we will this year. We're hoping we'll get a lot from Stewart. Cam Taylor-Britt was I thought he was projected to be a shutdown, the way he was going up until, about the middle of last year, he used to be a shutdown corner and Pro Bowl. Dax Hill, I think he got off to a great start, but he got hurt. I mean, his issue, I'm not as down on him. He got drafted into a weird situation where he never saw the field.
as a first rounder. Then he just keeps having injuries.
Yeah.
But you're in year 4 now, and you're not getting younger. And you don't have really anything on paper or on tape to say, hey, listen, this is the guy that I am, or this is where I've improved. You have nothing. So this is shit or get off. I mean, literally shit or get off the hill, or get off the pot for him, because I mean, the 5th year option wasn't picked up. He's a free agent after this year.
And that's whose?
Dex.
I thought they did pick it up.
Did they pick it up?
I thought for sure they did. I'm pretty sure they did pick it up. Look, you can look it up too. I thought they did. But anyway, the point of this whole thing is, I think they can do this because these weren't reaches. You know, the Bengals didn't go, oh, we're going to reach and get this guy. We're going to reach and get that. You know, these are all legit guys that were drafted where they're supposed to be drafted. So I do think
most of them,
yeah, I do think that they will step up because, well, like I said, they have to, and I think we'll be fine. And Chris said just be average at least. I'm saying be average at least for the first week, but beyond that, you need to actually start stepping up. And I think this team will get better as it works. And I can't bring up any. There you go. So I couldn't bring up any of the freaking chats. But yeah. I do think like week 1 is a little scary. But like you said, I'm glad.
I guess they did pick up his 5th year, which is
okay. I thought they did.
Bold. It's not that it's a ton of money, but bold for someone who's shown you like not even bad tape. He just hasn't shown you much tape.
Well, he showed a lot of really good. I mean, from everything I've talked to him, what I've seen, it was good tape for 5 weeks or whatever he played, and so that's where. And he's looked good in camp. But either way, so they got him signed. I mean, Cam Taylor-Britt's free agent after this year, so I have to think for him, it's a big year not only for him as in his Bengals career, but in his career in general. He's got to put some numbers up so he gets a second contract. So and that's the same thing I say about Trey. The way people can complain about, they didn't sign him long term, but Trey is as motivated as you're going to get. Yeah, he's getting $30 million, but he's got to put up a good year this year to get a contract extension from us or somebody else.
Yeah.
So that's where there's so much. There's a lot of, and you always do the hope thing. No, so I do want to ask you this. So we're putting a lot of hope in the defense, but is this hope for you a little different than what the Reds did? Because these guys are talented and we have seen them play better, and not all of them, but majority of them have. Is this a different kind of hope for you for the Bengals defense than what you had in the Reds this season?
No, not really, because they're missed chances to actually build depth behind them. Like you're hoping guys again. You're hoping Cam Taylor-Britt shows that he's the guy that's there for 2 weeks, not the guy who's terrible the next 2 weeks. DJ Turner, he up and down again. Like you're hoping he's the guy that he's got that absolute blazing speed, and he's shown like he can make plays downfield. Like he shows up. I think he flashes more than Juice, but the consistency isn't there. So I really don't think it's any different. We just feel better because the Bengals are in a much better shape as an organization. I mean, they're
well, not
whether you want to consider them a Super Bowl contender or not. Like they're going to be a strong team that they should win 10, 11, 12 games, whereas the Reds were hoping they're going to be 85 and 77.
So the thing with Cam Taylor-Britt, that's where I'm like, I think the end of last year was more of an anomaly than what he really is, because we've seen him for 2 years before that, and he was good. He kept just getting better, getting better, getting better. And then something just happened last year, and he just his head wasn't in it. I don't know what it was. Dax, again, he was playing out of position the first couple of years. Last year, they finally put him back at his natural position, and then he got hurt. So that's where I'm like, he's at his natural position. Those two right there, I'm pretty confident they're going to be fine. That's why and Newton, I've seen a lot of him. I've liked what I've seen out of Newton last year. Yeah, he's a rookie. We'll see how his second year. So you have to see. But I like the tape that I saw. Turner, so we don't know. That's one that's kind of we'll have to wait and see. Then you go on the safeties is where I think Battles will be fine. My boy Tyson Anderson, I hope he's getting a shot this year. I'm worried about Stone because what we saw last year wasn't anywhere close to what he did in Baltimore. So to me, that's where I'm hoping they put him back to where he's more comfortable and can make plays like he did in Baltimore. And hopefully that's what Algon will do. And then you got Trey, you got BJ, them. And TJ Slayton, I think he's going to be what we thought he was because he's been consistent there. It's It's Osai. Can Osai? That's the thing is we've seen it, but we haven't. And Osai's healthy now. That's another thing you got to come up with that too, because he was coming back from an injury last year, and he started coming on as the season went along. Now, from other things I've been told about Myles Murphy, which this doesn't make any sense, but he was told to not do stuff he was comfortable in doing as far as getting to the quarterback from Game On. This is what Game On said that he heard from. I'll just say a Tweety Bird, which if you guys listen to Spaces, you'll know where he probably got it from. That Myles was not allowed to do moves and things that he was comfortable in doing, which doesn't make any sense to me. So if he's more comfortable, then hopefully that'll adjust to him actually being more productive. But again, it's still hope. I mean, I agree with you. It's still hope. I'm more confident in it. I mean, we talk about the Reds. I'm like, I was hopeful. I mean, I'm like, I hope they do good. I'm like, I don't know because I wanted them to add another bat. I wanted them to add another arm in the bullpen, all the stuff I wanted them to add. Here, right now, I mean, yes, if they could have added a veteran edge guy would have been great, or a veteran cornerback, or a veteran safety, that would have been better. So that's where I'm always keep saying, I see the Bengals vision. Like the last couple years to me, Joe, it's like the Bengals let DJ Reader go. They go, oh, well, shit, now what are we going to do? So they pulled the shit handle and signed Rankins. That didn't work. They didn't know Bell was going to leave the year before that. Oh, crap, let's go get Scott. This year it kind of seemed like, all right, we're going to sign our guys, and we know we're going to get TJ Slayton to help us with the defense, and we're going to take Al Golden and put a lot on his plate and a lot on his shoulders to develop what we have here. So to me, I just see more of a vision this year than I did the last couple of years. Like I said, I don't necessarily like the vision. I wish I would have done a little bit more. But I can't complain too much. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, you can draw the lines, like the dots connect. Yeah. It might not make the best shape, might not make the shape that we're, wanting.
Right.
But it's not confusing to try to figure out what they're trying to do.
Right.
I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think they could have done it a lot better, but
yeah, obviously.
Yeah. But on the other side, like if this defense does come together, and again, Bengals bye week is in week 10, so 9 weeks bye week, 8, then 8 more games. If in the last 8 games of the season after the bye week, they're looking somewhere middle of the pack, maybe, or just taking that apart. Like if the last 8 games, the points allowed, yards allowed, stuff like that is somewhere in the teens, I think that's a huge sign because, again, most of these are younger guys that you can actually build on. It's not older guys that, okay, great, that they're stopgaps, but then we got to fill that spot next year. So,
yeah, and that's like I've said this: if they get through the first 2 months and we're 500 or a game above, that would be great because every year Zach's been here, we're under 500 and we have to fight from behind. So that again. Getting off to a good start is going to give this team more confidence, give this team and the defense more confidence. So all of that, it all rolls into one. So I do believe this Bengals defense is going to be okay. And let's go back to the Super Bowl year. I didn't think that defense going into the season. I'm like, our offense is going to be really good. I don't know how our defense is going to be, because I wasn't sure of Trey Henderson. We didn't know who he was. I mean, he's just a guy who got fired off the Saints, and who Logan Wilson was entering his second year. Pratt, we were all kind of like, we don't know about Pratt. There were a lot of question marks on that defense too. Now we had Jesse Bates back there, who was a huge difference maker. That I don't think any of us realized how much a big a loss Jesse Bates was going to be until we lost him. But that defense to me is, I won't say a lot like this because they had more veterans, but as far as the anticipation of how they're going to be this year, I think it was historically bad the year before that too. I think, or 2 years before that, I don't remember. But it's kind of reminding me of that a little bit. Do they have the same results? I don't know. But I guess my point is, it can get better. I mean, and there's history of this happening in this franchise.
Yeah, and again, like it's we're not expecting guys to do stuff that they haven't even done in college. So it's not, you're not expecting Although that's kind of exactly what we're doing with Shamar Stewart because he only had 4.5 sacks last year. But I think it's a better the floor of the defense is better than it was last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if they lost anybody who was I like Mike Hilton. He's a guy who's 5'1", 110 pounds, and would absolutely steamrolled some of the size of Josh Allen and Derrick Henry. Like multiple times he took those two out. And they're Josh Allen's 6'5", 245. Derrick Henry's 6'1", 240 pounds, and he absolutely single-handedly trucked them. But that he wasn't good in coverage.
Right.
He could not do man-to-man. In zone, you throw over the top of him because he's
too short.
2'3".
Locker room, we're going to miss him in there. I know that.
Yeah. And he said, did he end up signing in Indianapolis? I know he went there for a visit.
I know he went there for a visit. I haven't heard.
Miami let him loose.
Yeah, I have not heard if he signed or not. Let's get to Andrew's comment here. I honestly don't believe that's going to be the story this year. Fighting from behind, I believe we're going to be ahead this year. We should, and that's kind of Andrew. That's kind of.
But that's how we were last year, though. Like we'd get ahead by 2 scores, and then 3 plays later they'd score again. And the offense would have to go back out there, and then the offense had to be too perfect. Right. And any mistake again, like the Baltimore game, Marlon Humphrey made a hell of a play on and read the slant, and that's it. They took it over, and
Baltimore games. If you make a freaking field goal. And the one here we win. If they, if the and I don't want this game to come down to the referees, but try to do 2-point conversion.
Goofy 2-point play,
and then there's 5 freaking penalties on it against the Ravens. You don't call any of them,
right?
So, I mean, but that's it should come down to, and that's one thing I'll say too is everybody always blames it on the defense, which rightly so. But there were games where the offense didn't get that third down conversion because we couldn't run the ball consistently, and that's another thing where I do think we're going to be able to run it more consistently this year with Chase Brown than we have ever probably in Zach Taylor's offense.
As good as Chase Brown looked, they were a terrible rushing team last year. I don't think they're going to be much better just because I just don't think they're going to put that much of an emphasis on it. The guys, the linemen that they picked up are pass blockers. Whether it's Lucas Patrick or Dalton Reisner, they are first and foremost pass blockers. What's that?
They're going to go to the left side. Fairchild
is that's why they picked him. He's
Fairchild
a pass blocker.
and Zeus. That's where they're
maybe, but Fairchild's a pass blocker. Like that's his reputation. That's why the Bengals targeted him. And I think he's going to be great. I love Fairchild, but I think they're going. What I like with I don't like that they have 5 tight ends. That's really poor roster management. But with Noah Fant, and with Drew Sample, they can come out in heavy personnel and not just with Mike Gesicki, who's a dead giveaway. Mike Gesicki isn't going to block, but you come out with those 2 guys and you can come out heavy and you can throw and run out of that formation.
It's the same they did last year. They had Gesicki, they had Alt out there, so that's the same. They
and on rundowns or on neutral downs they had All and Sample, so that they're right? It wasn't a giveaway when you see someone trotting it off the field. If you just see Drew Sample coming in, chances are they're going to run the ball.
Yeah, but
it's third down and they need him as for protection.
Yeah.
But again, neutral downs, 1st and 10, 2nd and 6, or 2nd and 5, something like that. You bring those guys in, you're not giving it away, especially if they can play under center or if they can they emphasize more play action things that other teams do to make their quarterbacks' lives easy. And again, Burrow doesn't like that. That's why they don't.
Right. But he started doing it last year.
At some point, Burrow needs to realize, dude, there are things you can do to make your job easier, so you're not having to do chess. Scheme a guy open. There's nothing wrong with scheming a guy open when you have the talented receiver that they have. Right. Quit trying. You have pinpoint accuracy and you have fantastic route runners as receivers, but take the easy way out sometimes, man.
Right, but that's he did start doing that last year. He never did it until
they incorporated more, and I hope they keep going with it. Yeah,
that's where I think him and Pitch. I always think him and Pitch work together better than him and Callahan did. Because it just seemed like the offense to me, the offense last year was more because you said it sometime last year is more you thought it'd be more explosive, and I thought the offense was more explosive last year and more designed better, but surprising. Like it could do stuff that people didn't think they could do. What?
You're dead right there. They shouldn't put themselves in a position to lose off of penalties.
Yeah, I said that. I put that up there. But what was back to my point? You were saying it's more unconventional. I can't think of the word. Is where they were scheming them up. They're scheming them up better last year. I thought, as far as you didn't know if they were going to run it or pass it as much as you did in the past. I felt like last year.
Yeah. Again, and that was what Dan Pitcher did was exactly. And if you remember me talking before the season last year, I said losing Brian Callahan and moving to Pitcher would probably be a boon to the offense, and it was.
You did,
and not anything against Brian Callahan, but they kind of got a little stale, and they weren't evolving fast enough.
Right.
And Pitcher comes and they're evolving more to more. They're never going to the NFL is moving back to running the ball more. I don't foresee the Bengals doing that. I don't foresee the Bengals becoming more run heavy at all because they have the best passing offense in the NFL. No reason to screw with that.
I want them to run it more consistently. That would be nice.
Yeah. But by all means, and the Bengals last year, their goal was to run it efficiently, and they did. They ran it efficiently. It wasn't pretty, but they had the fewest amount of negative 0 yards or negative yards of any team in the NFL. And so they were always ahead of the chains running the ball.
Right. And the other thing last year that I said was an addition by subtraction. I love Tyler Boyd, but he can only play slant. So with him being gone, that meant Chase could go into slant, T could go into slant, Yoshi could go into slant. So there's more. It evolved. This offense evolved more. Now you put Gesicki in the slant if you want to too.
Looking at the it's next gen stats. When they have the you pull up the player and the routes from where they ran their routes, and Jamar Chase is a hang it in the fucking Louvre, man. Where he started his routes from literally looked like an umbrella. I mean, they were like
everywhere,
left slot, right slot, split wide, like a lot of orbit. He'd be lined up in the backfield, or he'd be doing an orbit motion, and those are things that, like, again, you're building. You've got a ton of weapons, but the core of the offense is Burrow to Chase.
Yeah.
T. Higgins plays like they play off that. And Higgins can and teams will shade coverage Higgins' way depending on the situation, but that's their that's their bread and butter. And so find ways, be creative with that. And again, that's what they did. Now I'm curious. Again, this is why I said I'm curious to see what the wrinkle this year is. If it's going to be something creative for the run game, because they've again, you have two different young running backs, and you have young legs, which is friggin' fantastic. Find ways to get Taj Brooks involved, and find ways to get Chase Brown, more explosive. Again, he's great, but their run game was efficient, not overly explosive. He'd get you 34, he'd bust one off 30-40, but they weren't a high impact running team. And not that you need to be, but
right. And when you have your offensive coordinator pitch come out and say that Chase Brown's a top 5 running back or top 10, I can't remember which one he said.
Yeah.
Either way, for him to say that, that to me, that means he's going to emphasize Chase more, running the ball, catching the ball, something. Chase Brown is going to be an integral part of this offense, even more than he was last year. That's why I keep saying I think I might place a bet on this, that I think he's going to break James Brooks' all-time record from scrimmage.
The only thing that'll hold him, and Andrew right here is dead on right. He's going to be a huge fantasy running back. Except
I picked him.
Except Brooks is going to be sprinkled in here, and if Brooks does what I think he can do and be explosive, and because he is that power back, he's like Chase Brown runs pretty well between the tackles, but he's not a between the tackle guy.
Brooks is
right, exactly. So I think Brooks can vulture some short yardage touchdowns, and I kind of want him to not the touchdowns. I don't care about that. I actually don't have a fantasy football team this year, but I think for the health of the offense and for the health of Chase Brown, I want Taj to be effective so they can keep him fresh, because Chase is effective in the passing game and the running game, and you want to be able to keep that guy like on the field when you need him. You don't want him to be worn down when you get to week 17 or as we expect in the playoffs.
So one wrinkle they might put in, because I agree with everything you said. I think Taj Brooks, I was ecstatic when they drafted him.
Yeah.
One thing I'm curious if one wrinkle they might put in is a 2-back set every once in a while. Having one of those two guys out there.
I doubt it, but come on, Prosid with the go out. Actually, bring in all three and have a Wisconsin I formation or something like that. No, I would laugh my ass off if they come out like first play, they come out in 11 or in 21 personnel with 2 running backs, 1 tight end, and a pro set. You've got both running backs split behind Burrow. You don't know, like a trap or something like the defense. That's going to screw the defense up. They're not going to know. Yeah, exactly.
Go wide. That's what I mean. I wouldn't put it past him. You got, because the thing is, both of them can actually block. You know, that's the thing too, is you could put them in there for protection. So that's when they could do. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I have no idea.
Yeah, and I doubt it, because like that's something that someone like Kyle Shanahan or with the Ravens would do, like a team that's actually really run heavy. I don't see that, because that's you know that's taking a passing weapon off the field. Yeah. Do have a question from Bunny Cha-Cha. What do we think of the new D coach? That's one you have to answer in
week 3.
Come back to me in a month.
Yeah, week 3, week 4.
I was okay with, like, I was fine with the hire. I understand the point of it, because he's, like, again, he's coming from the college level where, I mean, you can use the superlatives. He's a great teacher, whatever. He worked with young kids, and now, you know, worked with kids 18 to 21 years old, and now he's working with a bunch of guys that are 21 to 23 years old. Like, you know, these are the same guys that age guys that he was just working with. So that's the assumption, is that someone who just came out of the college ranks will be able to step in and be able to speak to and work with the younger guys better.
Yeah. Ken's on here. He's like, Risers is the backup. You are correct.
Yeah.
Well, he just got here. That's not surprising at all.
And
I think week 2. I have no idea. It depends on how the offensive line looks. I think he might, but we'll have to wait and see.
We'll see. And I told, I think it was off air, that I said, like, I think it would have been a really bad statement to make if Dalton Reisner was the starter, or was listed as the starter already. That means you have zero faith. Yeah, then you have zero faith in Lucas Patrick. Yeah. Honestly, I think Lucas Patrick is going to be fine. He's not going to be terrible. I think he's going to look like 2022 Alex Kappa. 22-2 Alex Kappa was fine. He was good, and then he got hurt at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. But he had a decent season. I think that's who Lucas Patrick is. I think Reisner's got a higher floor, and I think he's going to end up starting maybe not week 2. Maybe by maybe by Denver. Maybe maybe week 4 with Detroit, and ultimately he will start. But I'm hoping that he's not forced in, and he gets to kind of work his way in, because Patrick, even though he's a free agent, he had all of the offseason camp and everything to work with. To work with everyone, and again, back to Dave Lapham's thing. A fist. 5 offensive linemen work as a fist. So
I quote that all the time. That's why even when they signed him, I said he's not starting week 1, because that point right there. Patrick's been here through all of training camp, all preseason. He knows the calls. He knows. You don't want him going out there and Risers steps left when he should have stepped right, or what? Let him.
Yeah, give Reisner all the first team reps in 2 or 3 days a week in practice, so that he gets up to speed. But no, I let Patrick start this week, maybe even next week.
Yeah, I mean, because the guy Fairchild is taking all the starts at left guard. Patrick is taking he hadn't taken all of them, but he's taking the majority of them at right guard. So that's
funny. They have Rivers. The depth chart, Rivers is listed at left guard. That kind of surprised me.
Well, they put him at left guard last week. I mean, I don't.
They were really matter just to see where but
which. To me, that's not a bad thing, because I personally think eventually he's probably next year he might be our starting right guard. Is what I think next year. But if he can play left guard, that's cool. I mean, because if you're on the bench, yes, the more versatile you are, you play both guards. That's great. So it doesn't really matter. It's on the bench. It doesn't really matter who they put where.
Yeah, Kinsey, I do think you're right. Again, scripted plays like right out. Beginning of the game. Oh, well, that involves too much reading. I need to see Zach's play call and take a step forward after scripted plays. Seems like after the first 15, our offense kind of goes stale, and we tend to go 3 and out more. Just seems like there's a lull in the second quarter. And absolutely right. What's that?
Is that wasn't that hard?
Well, I pointed to it. This is you're not a podcast. You're a video.
It is actually a podcast. I put this on later.
But
thanks for listening.
I'm still answering the question. Shut your face. Anyway, yeah. Like for the scripted plays are absolutely comes out and like they're cooking. Again, I don't know what happens that all of a sudden, you get to somewhere around third or fourth drive, and then 3 and out. Maybe you get a 15-yard pass or something like that, but it's just stale. It's almost like the defense knows what Zach is trying to do and what trying to emphasize, whether it's trying to at that point push the run game more, and they're just geared up to it. I don't know.
I'd say go ask Carolina, because I don't know if you watched any of that game last night. The first drive, the scripted plays were awesome. Bill Belichick, he's the GOAT. He's going to get North Carolina going, and then they got absolutely destroyed by TCU after that. So
it's funny because I didn't watch the game, and I was just kind of off social media. So waking up this morning and going through all of the national perspectives, Bill Belichick, like all of the luminaries, all the North Carolina luminaries that were there. You had Roy Williams, you had MJ, like you had all these guys there, and he still has he's going to own football. He's going to own college football. He's going to be the next Nick Saban, and then just downhill from there on.
So, I'll say this. I've said this before. You ain't got players. You can have the greatest coach in the world, and you ain't got shit. I mean, look at his last 2 years or 3 years at Green Bay at New England. They weren't very good. You got to have players.
Or maybe the players are what made him and got him the 6 or the 5 rings.
Probably. A guy named Tom Brady.
Just the thought, because he was not a good coach before he went to New England. Wasn't great until Brady became, they didn't do anything until, they put Brady in, and Brady was there as an emergency. This wasn't like he saw something in Tom Brady and all of a sudden, no, Tom Brady went in because Drew Bledsoe almost died on the field or whatever. They had was it a lung injury or something? Something scary shit.
Bad. He went to the hospital. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. And then built off that. Yeah, he built great. They were good defenses, but the offense was pretty much just let Tom Brady coach the game from the pocket.
If you listen to Bill Belichick before the game, his answer was, "Are you excited about it? This game." He goes, "Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens." He was like, "Yeah, I think he knew he was going to get destroyed." He goes, "I think he said his first game for the Browns. I think it might have been the Jets." He said, but they got freaking destroyed this first game when he coached the Browns. So he's like, "Well, let's hope it's not like that." It was. They got freaking boat raced. It wasn't even close.
See, I look at it this way. I think he went to Carolina to scout because he likes him young.
He likes him young. Dude,
like he's creepy young. Like he's 34 years older than his
girlfriend.
Like that's creepy, dude. That's gross, man. No.
He signed a 10-year contract. I'm still like, why did you go there? I don't know. Well,
because the buyout is going to be really, really nice when they go to fire him after this year or after next year, whenever. Whenever they're ready to, like, the buyout is huge and he's going to have a gigantic paycheck waiting for him, and someone will give him an NFL job.
What was the game? Did you watch a lot of college football first? Because I don't know if you did or not. I watched
Did I watch a lot of what?
A lot of college football
this weekend? No, not really. No, I kept track of the scores, but we had a lot of stuff going on.
You act like you got a lot of stuff going on. I don't really think you do anything. But anyway, what?
I have kids. I have stuff going on.
Exactly. Out of what you saw, what game was there? A game that surprised you?
I don't really get surprised in week one, because you really, especially modern college football, there's so much turnover year over year.
Florida State, Alabama surprised the hell out of me. Alabama looked bad.
It did to a point. I mean, when you look at the scoreboard, but I mean, I think Alabama's still going to, like, a down year for Alabama. They're still going to be 10-3.
10-3 gets you fired, Alabama.
right. But I mean, and that's kind of, I think that's why they hired Kalen DeBoer. Like, he's a great, I think he's a great coach. He's out of his depths in the South, but they got that guy out of the way, because the worst job in any sport is, or in any line of work, is following the GOAT.
You don't want to follow the guy. You want to follow the guy after the guy.
Exactly. So if he succeeds, great. If not, well, we'll go after a coach from some guy in the South, for the next coach probably after this year, if they go 10-3.
How bad do you think Alabama radio was this week? We got to get Saban back. I mean,
yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, like I'm sure it was pretty. They're known to take their football a little serious.
Well, little bit. A little. Their quarterback literally called them out and said, "Nick Saban's not here to save you anymore," and he went out and freaking destroyed them. I mean, it was shocking to me. That was the most shocking one. And then
I actually, one thing that did surprise me. I'm sorry. Was the pillow fight in Columbus.
Pillow fight. What pillow fight?
Both teams have good defenses, but 10-7, like the amount, like there was I think there's combined less than 300 yards passing, just a awful game though. Like I didn't watch it, and I'm glad because you're just looking at the play-by-play line and just absolutely nothing, nothing downfield, short runs and then punts, and like it's just ugly game.
Were you surprised how bad Arch Manning looked?
I'm surprised that there was nothing explosive.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't. I didn't expect him to come out and look like, the Heisman Trophy winner, but at least looked like him to be competent. He didn't even look competent out there, man, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State is a really, year in, year out. I mean, you don't know how the whole team is going to be, but they've got a ton of talent. Oh, yeah. And like Arch got a lot of reps last year, so it's not as if this is the first time, facing live bullets, but Ohio State's still a different monster.
His first road game is at Ohio State. First road game ever. So.
Yeah, exactly. So it's, I don't want to say it was ugly, but I wasn't shocked. I think he'll be fine. But it did not, it looked ugly. Like again, on both sides, Ohio State didn't exactly do a whole hell of a lot themselves.
No, they did just enough. Their defense looked good, but I mean, both their defenses look good. But we got the Bearcats coming up this Saturday. Bowling Green, I think.
Harold Fannin State.
Yeah, I think that one better be a win. I mean, we kind of glossed over UC last week. Actually, you and me never got a chance to talk about it. I didn't get to sit and watch all of it.
I unfortunately did, and I didn't. Shouldn't have, but
why did he throw that ball? They all he had to do was get in the field goal range to tie it up. Why? Just
it was something that they saw in Satterfield had his presser today. Whatever coverage, and I can't remember the Hodgkins. I can't remember the name of the safety or whoever was that made the pick.
Yeah.
It was something that they hadn't shown all game long. So where he was not where they were expecting, and it was a bad throw. I'm cool. I'm completely cool with it. It was a shit throw and a piss poor effort by the same wide receiver that fumbled the ball the first time.
But I'm like,
it was a piss poor effort and a bad throw by both ends. I'm okay with it though. Like I get it. You're in field goal range, and they seem to actually have a kicker. Thank God. Yeah. But go for a touchdown. You're playing a road game. I mean, you go for the win on the road.
Right. I was cool with it. Well, that's what I'm saying is you're basically on it right now. We're saying the same thing, but I'm going to say the exact opposite of what you said. You're on a road game, and you've played to – this could have been Satterfield's biggest – would have been his biggest win in his career and got your seat if you got the win.
Yeah.
You've been playing good. Your defense been playing okay. Take the points. Kick the field goal. That's where I'm like, why risk it for that at that point in time? Because nothing is in the first 2 years of Satterfield, nothing has really gone right. So you need to me, that's more be conservative. Take the points. Let's try to get this win, not just let's just throw it up there and if we get to the intercepted, I guess we lost. Like
I'd say I really like. Again, there was something that they saw. Yeah. And I don't have a problem with them because they had it. They were at the where I'm trying to find. They were at the 33. 33. So yeah, should have been so it would have been a 51-yard field goal. But I was okay with the throw because again, I don't trust Satterfield in overtime. Winning on the field,
trust him in general. So, right. But I mean, that's where I'm like, dude, you need to get a win. Now, like to put all your eggs in that basket, and when you were on the cusp of possibly getting a win, it's just I don't know. It just I didn't like the call. I didn't like the. I mean,
and it was also a first down play though too. It wasn't this wasn't like it was.
Get the first down.
It wasn't like it was, but it was just first down. They just gotten called for the holding penalty. Actually, should have been pass interference too. They should have been 5 yards closer. He held the entire time, and then when the ball's in the air, he's still holding on when he's trying to complete the third Cyrus Allen. Yeah. And it was a fade. Like Andrew, it was a pass down the right sideline. It was just poorly thrown. It should have been thrown to the through the pylon.
Terrible throw.
And it just was. He floated it.
What time's the game? What time's the game this Saturday?
3:30 kickoff.
There we go.
I will be there. I am looking forward to being at Nippert.
Do me a favor. Make sure you drink lots of water because last time we went to the first home game.
Well, because it was like 105 degrees. It's going to be 70. The high on Saturday is going to be 70.
And it's going to be nice on Sunday, too, dude. It's going to be like 70 on Sunday. I'm like, oh, yeah.
The weather's going to be weird. It's like mid-80s today. It's going to be 80 tomorrow.
And then
Thursday's going to be mid-60s, then back to 80, and then back to 70. So I don't know what's going on, but
I don't know, but I like it.
It's fallish weather. I am here for it.
Exactly. I'm tired of being outside a football game in September, and it's 9,000 degrees.
Yeah, I legitimately thought I was gonna die. That was the first time that I ever met you.
I know.
Like the first time we ever met. Like we'd been on each other's shows and everything and talked a bunch, but first time like we'd ever met in person.
And I'm making fun of you, but I was hot too. We went inside the air conditioned room. And I was like, man, I'm like dying, dude. It's so.
Yeah, I mean, it was a blowout, so it's not like. Yeah, I mean, they were up like what 50-0 at halftime or something stupid. I'm like, okay, cool. I'd call my wife, have her come pick me up because I was dying, dude. Actually, no, I ended up walking back to the car. I could handle it. I handled it and
you went
drove home.
Yeah, my wife had to come pick me up.
Yeah,
she got me off anyway. I'm a cheapskate. I don't like paying for parking. But anyway,
get out of the damn desert, there, man.
Natty, you need to move
like
back,
104 degrees. Well, that's
Come on, Ron. You need to move back.
Sorry about you. You also don't get the crap. You probably don't have crappy winters though.
He needs to move back here. We need Natty back in the Natty. Natty Ron needs to move back. Joe, you've been on for an hour and 1 minute. I appreciate anything. Any parting words you want to say to Dey Nation or Bearcat Nation before I let you get out of here?
Just win on Sunday. Again, no excuses. Like there's zero excuse for the offense to look like crap. They'll struggle out the gate because that's what they do. But just win the boo, man. The Battle of Ohio. Just win it.
Exactly. Sounds good. Hey, want to talk again next Tuesday?
I'll be there.
All right. See you, dude. Later. All right, guys. As always, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. What'd you say, Daddy? I know it's your wife. What's stay out there? What? Let me talk to her. Okay. Call me. We'll get this figured out. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I want to remind you of this. Like I said, I need to have the graphic. I have the graphic up tomorrow. More on Loggrass. This Sunday, we're doing the Watch Day party at Moreline Lager House. It starts at 12 o'clock. I will be there. I'll be your DJ host. We're going to have trivia, prizes, all kinds of stuff. Bengals game will be on. And the best part is, let me get to the actual thing to read it for you here so you know what you actually get. You get $5 draft, $5 well drinks, $5 house wines, $5 shot of the day. Don't know what the shot's going to be, but it's going to be $5. Football trivia, games, prizes. And the thing is cool is you can come there, you can hold your table the entire time. So you come in, say, this is my table. I'm here till the Bengals win or lose, and I'm leaving. But it's going to be a fun time. During the commercials, I'll be playing some music and doing some trivia. So come on down to Moreline Lager House. Like I said, get there about 12. Game starts at 1, and we'll have a great time. We'll be doing this every road game, along with, as you know, the tailgates that we'll be doing 3 hours. That's 3 hours for every single game. But right now we're talking about the road game. So show up this Sunday. And, of course, next Tuesday, we're going to be doing the Dine for 9 for the Joe Burrow Foundation. I'll be doing a live show at Moreline Lager House from 5:30 to 7:30. So, like I said, I did have Corey Blunt on, but he unfortunately had a previous engagement he had to go do. So Terry Nelson will be there with me. Jim Breach will be there along with Joe Farfsing. And I'm maybe working on trying to get somebody else there, but those guys will be there. 9% of the portions of the food and drink you buy, 9% of that will go toward the Joe Burrow Foundation. It is at different restaurants around the city, but this is the one that I will be at doing the live show. So get your reservations at Moreline Lager House. It is pinned to the top of my Facebook page. And you guys can get your reservations there. And let's get to this part.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Priority Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need your shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paper patio, you need anything. I mean anything. Landscaping required. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window Door and More. I got it in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window Door and More. Their website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. And tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House.
So I hope to see you guys down there this Sunday as we kick off the Bengals Super Bowl run. I do believe the Bengals are going to go to the Super Bowl. I have a feeling. It's one of those things. I had a feeling in 2021. I got a feeling this year. The biggest thing is Joe Burrow is healthy. Everybody's happy. There's nothing hanging over our heads. Just got to get that defense to play good. I think we're going to be fine. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a show probably between noon and 1 because I got something else going on at 5:30. So I won't be doing the show then. That might just be me. But if you guys want to join me around noon, 1 o'clock, we'll discuss the news of the day. So that's why I would say to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notification. And every time I go live, you'll be notified. So make sure you do that. I will be pulling the sound off later on tonight. Put it on the podcast. It's on BeanPod, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Do me a favor, listen to it, and then make sure you rate, like, and review. Leave a 5-star review and a comment so more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast. Other than that, we're getting closer, baby. Football starts Thursday. The Bengals are back Sunday. Bearcats play Saturday. It's the greatest time of year, right? Remember, I got to throw this up for my dude, Andrew. Acknowledge Cincinnati, okay? The NFL is going to acknowledge us. We got to do that. Who Dey for life? Throw it up. That's just sports, baby. See ya!
Another great show. You guys still here? The show's over. You can come back tomorrow. I'm out of here. See ya.